Okay, so when you start to cut out your letter for your sculpture, you're going to need a mat and a knife, and the number on the mat should match the number on the knife when you pick it up, and it should be the number of your name on the attendance list, and I'll let you know what that number is. Okay, so you want to use this to keep from scratching the table and also from breaking the tip of the knife blade. First thing you're going to do is you're going to draw around the edges of your letter that you've cut out. If you look at your piece of cardboard, you're going to have kind of you may have a messy side, and then you're going to have a clean side. This is going to be the outside. So once it's finished, it doesn't matter as long as the outside doesn't have like drawings or whatever on it. Line it up at the top, make the top level. It may be a smidge or a millimeter too short at the bottom, but if you always line up at the top, you'll notice that I'm lining up the edge with one of the edges of the board. In this case, hers is slightly bigger, so I'm going to I will only have to make this cut and these 3 cuts down here. Okay, so it makes it pretty easy to be able to do those cuts. And you're going to do 2 identical pieces. If you're doing front and back, for instance, the letter N here, if I want this to be the back side, I don't want it to have that on it, so I'm going to line it up like this, backwards. So I'll do it forward and then a backwards. It just so happens that hers are symmetrical, so it shouldn't be a big problem. When I go to cut this, I want to keep my hand away from the knife, and I'm going to cut toward me. Don't try to push the knife away. At corners, it's a good idea to make a little X like that if this is empty space here. If it's not empty space, like up here, you want to make sure that you don't do what's called an overcut. So I'll cut it just to the edge. That one might be better to cut upside down. Don't rip it out. If it's not cut all the way, take your knife and cut again. It'll weaken the cardboard if you try to rip it. So this one's not cut all the way through, so I need to cut again. Now the sides are good. Until you have both pieces cut. There we go. One done.